Hi, Weather Joey here with your bottom of the South Island weather recap and forecast for Monday, March 31st, 2025. Forecast going out to my friends, spirits and beings of the land, plants, animals, and a recap for you folks in the future who still have access to this data. To look back and maybe find out what we were going through at the time. But so before we get started, I always like to thank and acknowledge the first peoples of this land, the First Nations, from North Saanich out to Sooke and beyond across this beautiful land, Turtle Island, for allowing us to live, work, and play and exist on their beautiful traditional territory. This is not my ancestors' lands, but I find myself here and I find myself welcome and I cherish a life on this land. Thank you very much. This time last week, which would be 7 days ago, right around the 23rd, 24th, we found ourselves in a late season atmospheric river, kind of coming from the west-southwest, but lots of rain for the west coast. Actually, there was a reading in Abbotsford. If you look back, I think they got 62 millimeters of rain on that 23rd, maybe 24th, but fairly mild flow here. That was a problem for the Alpine. So up in the hills up there, you felt the rain. Things are starting to melt on the snow. However, yes. So that was 23rd, 24th. By the 25th, which was the Tuesday, we saw a little bit of clearing in this flow. That front moved on, kind of fizzled out, kind of dried out. We saw a little bit of clearing, drying out on the 25th, but that was short-lived as we had another low develop and start coming towards. We had talked about this late season winter low coming in towards the south or towards the Pacific Northwest, kind of Oregon, bringing a southerly flow up the coast. Now that saw mild temperatures. On the 25th, we really had a mild day. Look at the temperatures there. But bands of rain, precipitation up from the south. That was for the 26th, 27th, 28th. Mild, still more rain up in the Alpine. By the time we got to the 29th, which was this past weekend on Saturday, we started to see the last bits of that. And I'm trying to think about where we are here. I get confused sometimes. Anyway, the last bits of that on the 29th in the morning. Things cleared out through the day. Just a little clear patch. I just got to double check that, where it was coming from. The last of this coastal low weather moved through. Yeah, that low had moved up the coast. And we saw it. Oh, yes. Nice little dry patch. Yes. Okay. So this low that was coming in here kind of migrated up the coast with that southerly flow for the 26th, 27th, and on into the 29th. It kind of retreated back out here and filled a little bit. We saw still a southerly southwest flow, but drier for, if you're keeping track here, the 29th and into yesterday. However, this low has since, because we're on the 31st, so yesterday was the 30th, has since regathered down here and is coming in. And today it's bringing some southerly flow. Again, we find ourselves in Victoria in a bit of clear weather here. But there's bands of showers coming up here. And we'll see this low kind of gather and then move through over the next day. And in behind we find a whole new pattern coming in. So this is why I've been kind of scattered, because I want to get to this whole new pattern. And that's good news for you folks out there, because the whole new pattern after this low moves through tomorrow, we're going to find ourselves, let's say, tomorrow into the next day, Tuesday, Wednesday, a new high pressure system coming in with starts off with a fairly cool west-northwest to northwest flow, clearing things out gradually. We'll still see some sun and mix of sun and clouds up against the hills, and it's still fairly cool. You'll likely see freezing up in the hills and some hard icy conditions up there. But as this moves in, it's going to become the dominant feature as the week progresses. spreading more and more into here, clearing things. Things are already sort of clear out here, but spreading, clearing into Thursday and Friday down here. And as it sets up, we're going to see temperatures start to rise because this looks like it's getting some good support down here. So this overall thing allows things to heat up. Sort of an early season, early April heat wave is what we're looking for as we get into next Friday and Saturday, which is 5 days away. So spring, you will have a ball out there. Lots of sun, lots of warmth. You've had a ton of moisture. I'm looking forward to just seeing things go boop, 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 coming out all over the place. Lots of green. So as we get into, let's say 5 days from now is the Saturday, so 5-6 days from now. And this is all, skies are clearing out all during the time when we're going to see a nice new moon, crescent moon coming up, and lots of planets out there. So I'm really looking forward to this and seeing that. But by Sunday, 6 days from now, we could be at 20 degrees during the day, and that would be an early summer day. That's the threshold for summer days. So we could see sunny 20 degrees by Sunday. Looking forward to that. So that's the pattern. Spring has sprung, and it will continue, and we might even get into summer soon, short of spring. But there's still some activity out here we're expecting for the following week. When that comes on shore, maybe 7 days from now, it starts to move onto shore. We're not so sure as this whole high pressure shift ceases. But still, either way, it's going to be flow up from here, from the south, and mild temperatures. Welcome spring. I got this board out because I'm hoping next Saturday I might take the nephew and his friends up the hill for a little bit of slush surfing, spring skiing. Anyway, I'll see you up there if that's the case. Hope this helps out. And as always, may the forecast be with you.